day 4 of the 2017-2018 NBA season, and I don't know why some people were doubting. After all, we saw the kid can ball during the summer league, but still, after his first game on Thursday night, there were some people giving Lonzo a bit of a hard time. Not anymore though. Monster game from Lonzo Ball last night. 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. Last game I shot 6 shots. That didn't work out so well. Figured I'd try something else. Today, I just had to do what I had to do to get the win. I had to shoot a few more shots. It doesn't take me long to learn. It was my first time. Everybody is going to criticize me regardless of what I do. But the more I play, the more comfortable I get. Those were Lonzo's remarks about his performance after the game. And the kid is going to be really special. He's talented. Plus, he seems really mature for his age. He has a feel for the game and a mentality that a lot of young players just don't have. Typically, after an off night, a rookie will kind of shy away because they don't want to perform like that again. Their confidence will be shot at an all-time low. Lonzo did the opposite though. He was like, all right, I was 1 of 6 last game. All right, bet. Let me take even more shots this time and see what happens. And good things happened. Brandon Ingram also had a really good bounce back game too, which was much needed, even more than Lonzo. In my opinion, Magic Johnson and the entire Los Angeles Lakers organization was doing a lot of hyping up of Ingram over the offseason, so a performance like this, it's reassuring. 25 points, a 9 of 14 shooting, 3 of 4 from deep, even though he fouled out, but that wasn't until like the final second of the fourth quarter. And speaking of the final second of the fourth quarter, the Phoenix Suns had a chance to tie the game up after Brandon Ingram fouled TJ Warren on the inbounds play with 1.2 seconds remaining in the game. However, down 2, Warren missed the first free throw, so he had no choice but to miss the second on purpose so the Suns could try and get the tip in to tie the game. Didn't happen, and the Lakers won 132 to 130. 28 points for Bledsoe, and had it not been for Lonzo, all the talk would have been around Devin Booker though, because he was out there looking like James Harden or something. 25 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists for Booker. I've been noticing in the preseason and in his first game of the season that he has been doing a lot of looking for his teammates more. I don't know about the rebounding numbers, but I think we can start to expect Booker to rack up assists like this more often, to be honest. There is only so much Giannis Antetokounmpo can do by himself against one of the best teams in the NBA. Giannis was keeping the Bucks right up in the game basically by himself up until the halfway mark of the third period. That's when the Cavs started to get some separation and never looked back. Speaking of the third quarter though, that is also when Derrick Rose had to exit the game and would not return with what was diagnosed as a sprained ankle. Tyronn Lue said after the game that it's not looking good, so I think we can expect Rose to miss a couple of weeks with that injury. Like I was saying though, Giannis was doing his best to keep the Bucks within striking distance, and he had another monster game. 2 games, 2 monster performances so far by Giannis. 34 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals, but you just can't beat the Cavs with only one player. Love was good with 17 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. LeBron was LeBron with 24 points and 8 assists, but the guy who killed the Bucks last night was Kyle Korver. 17 points off the bench, hitting 5 of his 6 triple attempts. If he gets hot, there's just not much you can do. 116 to 97 was the final score. No Gordon Hayward, and now no Marcus Smart as well for the Celtics last night, trying to avoid starting off their season 0-3 against the Philadelphia 76ers. And despite Joel Embiid missing his first 8 shots from the field, the Sixers were in control of this game for really the first 3.5 quarters. Irving, Horford, and really everyone else on the Celtics except Terry Rozier off the bench was struggling to hit a shot. Then in the fourth quarter, Al Horford and Kyrie Irving just said no. We are not going to start off this season 0-3. I don't care how injured we are, how little we know about playing with each other. That's just not going to happen. Those two guys completely took over the game, and the Sixers couldn't do anything about it. Irving hit some big shots, and Horford hit some big shots as well, including 3 triples as the Celtics pulled away for the 102 to 92 win. Irving finished with 21 points, and Horford had 17 points and 9 rebounds. The rookie Jason Tatum found a way to score at the free throw line, hitting all 9 of his attempts as he finished with 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Ben Simmons had a similar game to his first game of the season with 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists, and Joel Embiid, like I said, missed his first 8 shots from the field, but started to get going a bit as he finished with 11 points and 14 rebounds. I feel so bad for Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. The one night they get get a little bit of help. Not that much, but maybe enough to beat a handful of teams in the NBA. They had to go up against the best team in the NBA, the Golden State Warriors. The Pelicans had a tremendous first quarter, hitting just about every shot they took to take a 39-26 lead after one. But you are kidding yourself if you think the Warriors can't make a 13-point lead disappear in the blink of an eye like they did last night. Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, and Kevin Durant all started to heat up a bit after that, and not too many teams can keep up with the Warriors if that happens. Klay was hitting just about everything he put up last night. Dude couldn't be bothered. 31 points. He hit 7 threes on 12 of 19 shooting from the field. Curry finished with 28 points and 8 assists, and Kevin Durant took more of a backseat this time, I guess, finishing with a modest 22 points, 8 rebounds, and get this, 7 blocks. Dude is an underrated defender. As for the Pelicans though, they did a decent job of not letting the game get too far away from them. After halftime, they pretty much just kept trading buckets with the Warriors, but they just couldn't get much closer than 8 or 10 points down. Two more ridiculous performances from Davis and Cousins though. 35 points for both of those guys, while Cousins added 14 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals to go with his 35 points, and Davis added 17 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals to go with his 35 points. Ian Clark came off the bench to drop 14 points against his former team, and 128-120 was the final score. Things got kind of scrappy in this one between Jimmy Butler and Ricky Rubio midway through the fourth quarter, and that's pretty much how this entire game was. Not the prettiest to watch. Like I was saying though, in the fourth quarter, Jimmy Butler and Ricky Rubio got into a heated word exchange before both of them were given technical fouls. And for Rubio, this was a big game. His first game against his former team, and he was playing like he had something to prove out there, and he played really well. 19 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds on the night, but it just wasn't enough. And maybe it would have been though had it not been for Jamal Crawford hitting the game-winning 3 with around 25 seconds to go, even though he couldn't see the hoop when he shot the ball. I shot it so many times that I kind of knew. I just looked at the net when I was on the ground. That's insane. But yeah, dude has been putting up a lot of shots in his career, so as long as he at least kind of knows where the rim is, the shot has a chance of going in. 100-97 was the final score. Crawford finished with 17 points off the bench. Wiggins had 21, and Towns had 20 points and 10 rebounds for the Wolves as they continue to try and figure things out. Crazy ending to this game. So early in the fourth quarter, Wizards go up by 15. Before that, it had been a really close game throughout. Luke Kennard made his rookie debut for the Pistons, scoring all 11 of his points in the first half. But back to the fourth quarter though. After the Wizards went up 15, Andre Drummond immediately basically fouled out with 9 points and 12 rebounds. He had been battling foul trouble all night. Then Reggie Jackson just says forget this and sparks a 14-0 Pistons run, but the Wizards kept it together and held on to a 2-point lead entering the final minute of the game. After that, it was just jump ball after jump ball, steal after steal, both teams desperately fighting for possession. 3 seconds left, with the Wizards still up 2. After a scramble for the jump ball, the ball goes out of bounds, and after the reviews, the refs determine it is Wizards ball. Wall sinks 2 free throws, game over. 115-111 was the final score. Wall with 26 points and 10 assists. Otto Porter Jr., who was red hot to start the game, finished with 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 steals, and Beal had 25. Reggie Jackson led Detroit with 21 points and 5 steals. After missing the first game of the season with a suspension, CJ McCollum couldn't wait to get out there on the court last night, and he played like it too. Dude couldn't miss, as his 28 points on 12 of 18 shooting led the Blazers to the 114-96 win over the Pacers. Damian Lillard also had 18 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds, and Al-Farouq Aminu was huge last night with his 16 points and 16 rebounds. Victor Oladipo had 17 points for Indiana, as well as a pretty nice lob. I was following along with this game, and there was a time in the first half I was like, are the Hawks actually about to win again? But then the third quarter started, and I was like, nope. Dwight Howard, you could bank on him to have a huge performance tonight against the team that traded him away for a bag of unsalted Lay's chips, and he did. Looked a bit like the old D12 last night, 20 points and 15 rebounds. You could tell when he was out there that he really wanted to have a game like this against the Hawks. And he and Kemba Walker looked really good in the pick and roll together too. Walker finished with his usual great game of 26 points and 9 assists, while Dennis Schroeder had 25 points for the Hawks, and 109-91 was the final score. Going into the night, if I were to ask you guys who you think would score the most points, I bet everything I have on the fact that not a single person would have said Nikola Vucevic. He just poured in the highest scoring performance of his career and of the season by any player so far, dropping 41 points and 12 rebounds on the Nets. Jeez, dude just upped his trade value a lot. 17 of 22 shooting and 6 of 8 from deep as well. Great game for Vucevic, but it was spoiled by the Brooklyn Nets, who got the 126 to 121 win. D'Lo, Carroll, and Booker each had 17 for Brooklyn. We were supposed to see a matchup of two of the best point guards in this year's draft class tonight, but it didn't pan out as Dennis Smith Jr. was held out of this game at the last second due to swelling in his right knee. The Mavs said it is nothing too serious. They just don't want anything to go wrong, so they kept him out, and maybe he would have made the difference in this close game too. Without their starting rookie point guard, the Mavs fell to the Kings 93 to 88. Buddy Hield grabbed a huge offensive rebound with 30 seconds to go before dishing the ball to George Hill, who sank a 2-point shot to ice the game. Hill finished the game with 21 points for the Kings, while Barnes led the Mavs with 24. That wraps up all 10 games from last night. You guys can go vote for the player of the day by following the link down in the description box below. By the way, yesterday's player of the day was of course Russell Westbrook and his 21 points, 16 assists, and 10 rebounds. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to stay tuned for daily NBA news coming up later today, but I guess I'll see you guys then. Peace!